It begins on a morning like any other. You're standing at the top of the stairs, maybe reaching for your keys or jacket. But today, your legs feel different, just slightly heavier. They tremble, even though you haven't done anything strenuous. You take the first step down and realize you're winded already. You pause, gripping the railing tighter than usual. It's not laziness, and it's not your imagination. It's something real. Your legs are quietly losing their strength. What most people don't realize is this every 11 seconds. A senior is hospitalized due to a fall caused by leg weakness. That's not just a number, it's a reminder of how quickly our independence can slip away. Behind each fall are weeks, even months of recovery. Or worse, the permanent loss of confidence in one's own body. But here's the good news, this decline isn't inevitable. It's not a sentence, it's a signal. And your body is waiting for you to respond. Let me ask you this. Have you felt moments where standing from a chair takes more effort than before? Or maybe your evening walk feels shorter? Not because of time, but because your legs just won't go further. These aren't random signs of aging. They're symptoms of a deeper issue, sarcopenia, the gradual loss of muscle mass after age 60. But we're not here to fear it. We're here to fight it wisely, naturally, and with evidence on our side. This isn't about pills. And it's definitely not about intense exercise routines that require balance boards or resistance bands. In fact, some of the most effective support for your muscles can come from what's already in your kitchen. Foods you've likely seen 100 times but never knew held the key to restoring your legs' strength, balance, and confidence. Over the years, I've worked with hundreds of clients aged 60 to 90. The patterns are always similar: a slow decrease in mobility, a rising fear of falling, and eventually dependence on walking aids. But every time I introduced a small, targeted change to their daily diet foods backed by science, easy to prepare, the results were inspiring. Stronger legs, better posture, restful sleep, and most importantly, restored self-trust. At Dr. Jarek.H, we believe health after 60 is not just about living longer, it's about walking taller, breathing deeper, and regaining your rightful sense of freedom. That's why in this video, I'll show you 4 scientifically supported foods that help reverse muscle loss, reduce inflammation, calm nerve signals, and rebuild strength from within. And I'd love to know, where are you tuning in from today? And how old are you? Share it in the comments. You're not alone on this journey. There's a community walking beside you. Because we're not just talking about food. We're talking about your ability to move without hesitation, to step forward without fear, to trust your legs again. Stay with me, because what I'm about to share may become the turning point you didn't know you needed. Let's begin. Of all the foods I've studied over the years, one continues to surprise people the most. It isn't rare. It isn't expensive. In fact, you might already have it tucked away in your pantry. It's small, round, and easy to overlook. But for aging muscles, it can be transformational. I'm talking about chickpeas, also known as garbanzo beans. You see, once we pass the age of 50, our bodies begin to lose muscle at a faster rate. This condition is called sarcopenia, and it's more than just thinning arms or a shrinking waistline. It affects leg strength, balance, posture, and even our ability to rise from a chair unassisted. But research shows that including plant-based protein in your diet, particularly from sources like chickpeas, can slow this decline and even help reverse it. According to a 2019 study from the University of Mercia, seniors who ate chickpeas 3 times a week saw 22% less muscle loss compared to those who didn't include them regularly. Suck, kui, han, fuck. That's not a small margin. It's the difference between walking with ease versus needing a cane. And it's achievable without changing your entire lifestyle. What makes chickpeas so powerful isn't just the protein. They're also rich in magnesium, iron, and vitamin B6, a trio of nutrients essential for muscle contraction, nerve signal transmission, and reducing fatigue. Together, they support not just muscle size, but muscle performance. Magnesium especially helps calm overactive muscles and reduce that heavy leg sensation many older adults describe. Let me tell you about Jose, a 74-year-old retiree from Seville. He had fallen on his apartment stairs and feared he'd never be able to climb them again. When he came to me, he wasn't looking for medication, he just wanted to walk confidently. We didn't overhaul his life. We started small, adding chickpeas to his meals 3 times a week. He put them in stews, tossed them into salads, even blended them into hummus. After 5 weeks, he wasn't just climbing stairs, he was walking laps around his courtyard without a hint of hesitation. No more trembling knees. No more fear. If you're wondering how to start, try this 1 to 2 cup of cooked chickpeas, about 125 grams, 3 times a week. They pair beautifully with warm herbs, roasted vegetables, or olive oil and lemon for a Mediterranean twist. Prefer something cozy? Simmer them with turmeric, garlic, and carrots for an anti-inflammatory soup that comforts and restores. And here's a trick many overlook if you're cooking from dried chickpeas. Soak them overnight with a pinch of baking soda. This reduces phytic acid, a natural compound that can interfere with mineral absorption. It makes chickpeas gentler on digestion and improves the uptake of magnesium and iron, especially important for older adults who may struggle with bloating or fatigue from nutrient deficiencies. One simple food, one simple habit, but the results, powerful. Chickpeas aren't just legumes, they're leg builders. The foundation of your strength may already be sitting on your shelf. Let's keep going. If chickpeas are the foundation for rebuilding your muscles, the next food is the fine-tuned tool that helps them work in harmony. It doesn't just support strength, it directly improves comfort, sleep, and coordination. And yet, it's often dismissed as just a snack. I'm talking about pumpkin seeds. These small, crunchy seeds are a powerhouse of magnesium, a mineral essential for maintaining proper muscle function, preventing spasms, and calming nerve signals. Unfortunately, many adults over 50 are magnesium deficient, even those with relatively healthy diets. The signs are subtle but familiar: twitching legs, stiffness after walking, and most notably, those frustrating nighttime leg cramps that jolt you awake just when you've settled into bed. Let's talk science for a moment. A clinical study from Complutense University of Madrid in 2020 found that adults over 55 who consumed 30 to 40 grams of pumpkin seeds daily experienced a 31% reduction in nighttime leg cramps after 6 weeks. Suck Kuhan Puck. That's a significant drop in discomfort without medication, just food. Participants also showed measurable improvements in balance tests, including standing on 1 foot and stair navigation. The seeds didn't just ease pain, they helped people feel steadier and more confident. Let me introduce you to Carmen, a 68-year-old from Zaragoza. For years, her nights were plagued by intense calf cramps that often woke her around 3 homos rosa. She'd tried everything: warm baths, leg stretches, even over-the-counter pills. But nothing lasted. When we met, I suggested one simple addition: a small handful of roasted pumpkin seeds each afternoon. No big changes, just a quiet shift. After 3 weeks, her cramps began to ease. After 6, they had nearly vanished. More than that, her sleep improved, her mornings felt lighter, and she returned to her daily walks with joy she hadn't felt in years. So how do you add this into your routine? Aim for 30 grams per day, that's about 2 tablespoons. But timing matters, eat them between 3 and 5 p.m. This window gives your body time to absorb the magnesium and calm your neuromuscular system before bedtime, enhancing both muscle comfort and sleep quality. Pumpkin seeds are incredibly versatile. Sprinkle them over oatmeal or yogurt. Mix them into steamed vegetables or grain bowls, or enjoy them toasted and warm on their own, a simple, satisfying crunch with deep benefits. Just make sure to choose unsalted, unflavored seeds so you get the minerals without added sodium. What makes pumpkin seeds so effective is not just magnesium. They also provide zinc, healthy fats, and antioxidants, a combination that supports joint tissue, reduces inflammation, and protects nerve endings. This makes them particularly valuable for seniors who spend time on their feet or deal with aching knees and ankles. Don't underestimate this tiny seed. It may be small, but it speaks directly to some of the biggest discomforts of aging cramps. Balance issues, poor sleep. In many ways, it's not just a seed, it's a signal to your muscles that better days are coming. Let's move forward. Now we arrive at a food that might seem surprising, maybe even strange, until you understand what it does beneath the surface. It doesn't grow in the ground or come from a tree. It lives in the ocean, swaying gently in underwater gardens, rich in minerals and healing compounds. I'm talking about seaweed, a powerful yet underused ally for joint health, bone density, and mobility. If your knees creak when you climb stairs, or you hear a popping sound every time you rise from a chair, this isn't just normal aging. Those sounds are signals. Signals that your joints are running low on lubrication. Your cartilage may be wearing thin, and your bones could be silently weakening. Seaweed offers one of the most natural solutions, especially varieties like wakame, kombu, sea lettuce, and brown algae, which are rich in organic calcium, iodine, and two remarkable compounds, fucoidan and laminorin. Together, these nutrients support synovial fluid production, the fluid that cushions your joints while also helping rebuild cartilage and reduce inflammation. A 2021 study published in the American Journal of Community Nutrition found that women over 60 who ate seaweed 2 to 3 times per week had up to 16% higher bone density compared to those who did not suk kuihan puk. That's a significant improvement, especially when you consider how even a minor fall after 65 can lead to fractures that change a person's life. Let me tell you about Maria, a vibrant 70-year-old and former yoga instructor. Years of arthritis had left her with stiff, swollen knees. She thought her teaching days were behind her. But instead of turning to medications alone, we focused on her diet. We added seaweed in gentle, consistent ways. Warm miso soup with wakame, light seaweed salads, and nori wraps filled with soft vegetables. At first, it didn't seem like much, but within 2 months, the change was remarkable. Her inflammation eased, she moved more freely, and she returned joyfully to teaching chair yoga at her community center. If you're curious how to add seaweed into your meals, start small. Try 2 to 3 servings per week. Add wakame to broths. Use nori to wrap brown rice and cooked veggies. Sprinkle dried seaweed flakes onto salads or soups. If you enjoy cooking, simmer kombu with beans or grains to add minerals and flavor. Here's a bonus tip when making seaweed broth. Add thin slices of fresh ginger and a drop of sesame oil. This not only enhances the taste, it also helps warm the digestive system and improves calcium absorption, which becomes more difficult with age. Seaweed is gentle but powerful. It doesn't just reduce discomfort, it restores what age gradually erodes. Think of it as natural scaffolding for your joints. With each serving, you're not just nourishing your body, you're protecting your independence. The next time your knees whisper, listen closely. The ocean may already be offering you an answer. Let's continue. By now, we've covered foods that support your muscles and soothe your joints. But there's one more system we need to talk about. One that quietly controls your balance, coordination, and even your sense of connection to the ground beneath your feet. It's your nervous system, and there's one food in particular that nourishes it beautifully: avocado. Have you ever felt like your legs are moving, but your brain is lagging behind a strange numbness in your calves? a tingling in your toes, or the sensation that you're walking on pillows instead of solid ground. These are often signs that your peripheral nerves, especially those in the lower limbs, aren't getting the support they need. And while these symptoms may seem subtle, they're important. Left unaddressed, they can increase fall risk, reduce mobility, and quietly erode confidence. Enter avocado. This soft, creamy fruit is more than just a trendy toast topping. It's rich in monounsaturated fats, especially oleic acid, which helps stabilize nerve cell membranes and improve communication between your brain, spinal cord, and legs. Think of it as the conductor of a symphony, ensuring your body's messages travel smoothly and on time. Avocados also contain potassium, which regulates muscle contraction, and vitamin E, a powerful antioxidant that protects nerves from oxidative damage and age-related degeneration. When combined, these nutrients enhance coordination, reduce shakiness, and support your ability to respond to uneven terrain, stairs, or sudden shifts in weight. A 2021 study from the American Institute of Nutrition and Geriatrics found that seniors over 65 who ate avocado 4 times a week experienced measurable improvements in posture, lower limb steadiness, and balance, especially those who had struggled with walking across uneven surfaces. Suk Koi Han Fuk. One of those people was Miguel, a 79-year-old retired teacher. He came to my clinic deeply concerned his feet had gone numb, and he no longer felt safe walking with his grandson in the park. After reviewing his habits, we made a single change, swapping his sugary breakfast for a slice of whole grain toast topped with mashed avocado, a sprinkle of chia seeds, and a squeeze of lemon. Within 4 weeks, Miguel returned smiling. "I can feel the ground again," he said, "and my grandson's footsteps beside mine." So how can you do the same? Start with 1 to 3 to 1 to 2 in avocado, 3 to 4 times a week. It's ideal in the morning, when your body is primed to absorb healthy fats. Spread it on toast. Toss chunks into a quinoa salad. Blend it into a smoothie with banana and almond milk. Or layer it in a wrap with leafy greens and grilled chicken for a simple, nourishing lunch. And here's a tip: add crushed walnuts, flaxseed, or chia on top of your avocado. These bring in omega-3s and extra vitamin E, further supporting your nerve health and reducing inflammation throughout the body. Avocado may be soft, but it builds resilience from within. With each bite, you restore clarity, reconnect your brain and legs, and reclaim confidence in every step. Let's move forward stronger and more stable than before. So far, we've looked at 4 foods individually, each with a unique role to play. But now it's time to step back and see how these pieces fit together. Because when you combine the right nutrients with the right timing, something powerful happens. The effects don't just add up, they work together, creating a ripple effect throughout your entire body. Let's simplify this. Think of your lower body as a 3-part system. Your muscles generate power and movement. Your joints absorb shock and allow flexibility. Your nerves send signals to coordinate every step you take. When one part falters, the others compensate, and eventually, fatigue and imbalance set in. But when you support all 3 together, that's when strength returns, confidence builds, independence grows. Here's how it works. Chickpeas feed your muscles with protein and minerals, helping you maintain the strength needed to stand, climb, or lift. Pumpkin seeds calm your nervous system, reduce cramps, and help you rest at night because recovery starts with sleep. Seaweed rebuilds cartilage, hydrates joints, and restores the soft fluid cushion that prevents your bones from grinding against each other. Avocado supports nerve function and coordination, helping you move more fluidly and with purpose. Individually, each food improves one area, but together they address the entire mobility chain, the true source of balance and strength. Let's revisit a client of mine, Elaine, age 72. She didn't want a long checklist. She wanted to feel steady again. We built a plan using only these 4 foods: within a month. She said something I'll never forget. "I feel like my legs are finally listening to me again." One of the most common questions I hear after sharing these food-based strategies is, how fast will I feel stronger? It's an important question, and the answer matters, especially when you're trying to stay motivated. The truth is, progress doesn't always happen the way we expect, but that doesn't mean it isn't happening. Let's begin with what the science shows. In clinical studies, results can begin to appear within 2 to 6 weeks, depending on your body's condition, metabolism, and how consistently you incorporate the recommended foods. Here's a general timeline, based on both research and my experience with patients' pumpkin seeds. Many people feel less nighttime cramping in as little as 2 to 3 weeks, especially when consumed daily in the afternoon. Sleep improves shortly after that, which accelerates daytime energy and balance. Chickpeas. Because they support muscle regeneration, expect noticeable strength gains and better mobility after 3 to 5 weeks. You might notice getting up from a chair is easier, or that walking longer distances doesn't exhaust you as quickly. Seaweed. This is more gradual but incredibly powerful. Bone density and joint lubrication improvements often appear in 4 to 6 weeks, particularly in women post-menopause. You'll likely notice less joint stiffness or the ability to bend and rise more smoothly. Avocado. For those with nerve-related discomfort, balance issues, or numbness. Results often appear in 4 weeks improved coordination, more grounded steps, and a stronger sense of body awareness. Now, here's something just as important as the numbers. Progress isn't always linear. 1 week, you may feel energized and stable. The next, you might feel like nothing's changed. That's not failure, that's healing. Especially after 60, your body takes more time to integrate and rebuild quietly, beneath the surface. Let me share a moment from one of my longtime patients, Howard, age 76. He'd been following this 4-food strategy for just under a month. He was feeling discouraged. "I don't think anything's happening," he said. But then that same evening, he caught himself walking across the kitchen without leaning on the counter. He froze. That's when I realized he told me my body was already changing. I just hadn't noticed yet. So give yourself permission to go slow. Celebrate small wins. Maybe your knees don't ache when you stand from bed. Maybe you slept through the night without leg cramps. Maybe your balance feels just a little more secure on uneven pavement. These are signs. Your body is responding. Nourishment works in layers. Nutrients feed cells. Cells rebuild tissue. Tissue restores function. And over time, that adds up to strength, steadiness, and freedom. In the next section, what will bring everything together, I'll recap what we've learned and help you take the first clear step towards your stronger, more confident self. You don't need a new body, you just need to support the one you already have. Let's close this journey together. Let's take a moment to recap what you've just discovered. 4 natural, accessible foods: chickpeas, pumpkin seeds, seaweed, and avocado, each supporting a different part of your mobility system. Together, they help maintain muscle strength, joint fluidity, nerve coordination, and balance. No pills, no complicated routines, just food, used with intention. But more than that, you've learned that healing after 60 doesn't come in dramatic leaps. It comes in quiet shifts, a night without cramps, a morning walk that feels easier, a step taken without hesitation. These are victories, and they are yours to claim. In my years of practice, I've seen countless seniors rebuild their confidence with just a few consistent changes. It's not about perfection. It's about momentum. A choice at breakfast, a new ingredient on your shopping list, a willingness to believe that strength is still within reach. So I invite you, try just one of these foods this week. Notice how your body responds. Then build from there. Don't wait for a crisis. Act now while your independence is still yours to protect. If this video gave you insight or hope, please consider subscribing to Dr. Jarek.H. This channel exists to help you move smarter, age stronger, and live on your own terms. And tell me in the comments, which of these foods are you most excited to try? Your next step starts today. And remember, you're not getting older. You're getting wiser, stronger, and more prepared.